Hi, welcome to Senior Trucks. I'm Angel Mercado. Today I have a fun project and fun little drawing that we're going to do. Have you ever noticed in the afternoon sometimes, or sunrise, especially when the sun is out, the backlit effect? And that is when the sun is behind a subject and it creates a silhouette with this glowing outline, bright light all the way around. And that is what backlit is. If you haven't done this before, it would be good for you to take your cell phone, your camera, go outside when it's sunset and when you see this backlit effect, and take some pictures. Take some pictures and then look at them. If you find one that you find kind of like interesting enough, just see if you can do it. I'm going to show you how to do this. It's not as difficult as you think it is. It just takes a little bit of observation. Squint your eyes. When you squint your eyes, you can really see the values, the difference between light and dark. So it will make it a lot easier for you. But first, remember, before we go, remember to give me a like, subscribe, and share if you can. I would really appreciate this. And that's enough said. Let's go and see if we can find something to sketch. I know what we're going to do though. We're going to do a scene that I done a long time ago, and it was just a piece of a dock here in Tampa Bay, where the boats come, but this time the dock was empty, and we just see some posts, ropes, very simple scene, but it has a beautiful backlit effect. So let's go and see if we can do this. So have you ever noticed the way light glows around edges of a tree during a sunset or a sunrise? Maybe how lamps, create a very soft kind of like halo around a shape, around any solid object. That is what we call backlighting, backlit. So today, that's what we're going to explore. We're going to see if we can capture that. And I'm going to do a very simple sketch so you can follow and understand. One thing we need when we do this, I'm using charcoal because for backlit, I think charcoal is ideal since it covers a lot of ground so fast. So first thing I need to do, I just need to add tone to the paper. And I'm going very light. I don't want to go too dark at this step. We're just adding a little bit of volume, a little bit of, charcoal to the paper. That way we can have something to work with. There. You see how fast we can apply a tone? A lot faster than using a pencil. So that's why I like. Plus, when it comes to make videos, sometimes the graphite tends to shine a little bit, and if it gets hit by light, it's not going to look the same. So that's another reason why I like to do this. Okay, so now that we have added tone to this paper, I'm going to do a little bit of a sketch before I get moving. So this was inspired. I did a mural years ago, and part of the mural was this kind of like boardwalk, okay, and I had this post right here, like here's one post where you tie your boat to it, sort of like this, and maybe we're going to add another post in here, just to create a little more interest. And maybe we're going to add two posts in here just to make it a little more interesting. Okay, there. So the wires behind us, here's the dock area, the posts. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get my finger. You can get a Q-tip if you wish, or tissue, and I'm going to blend this a little bit. Now just blend it with my fingers. Very simple, nothing too difficult here. And as you can see, you don't have to be too concerned about the drawing right now. So the main thing is just to get a little bit of the charcoal in the paper. There we go. So now you can see what we're doing. This is our sketch. This is the dog and two posts there, where we tie the bows. So backlit or backlighting occurs when the source of light, in this case the sun, is pretty much kind of like behind our objects, or the objects that are in front of us, in front of the sun. So the object is going to look a little bit darker. So I'm going to apply a little bit of charcoal to my object here, darken it a little bit. And the only thing we have to be careful here is just to leave like a little white area around the post, because that is the halo we see, the white glow we see from the light. And if the sun is behind here, somewhere in here will be, it's because this is going to be casting a shadow, right? So we're going to do a shadow here, okay? Yes, very easy, nothing too complicated. And here, think about the sun is here, it's going to have a little bit of a, angle, the shadow, because it's follow the sunlight, like that. Okay, so let's say maybe we have water, maybe the water somewhere, it goes up to there, I don't know. We're just making this up right now. And my water is going to be back and forth. It's going to have lines like that, and I'm going to go the same way here. Okay, so that is where our water is going to be. Okay, there. So I'm going to go again with my finger, and I'm going to try to blend all of this together like that. And what this does, it just indents the charcoal into the tooth of the paper, which makes it a little more stable, and it softens everything, kind of brings everything. It creates more of a harmony, I think, in the piece when you do this. There, and we have this shadows here, and this dog. There we go. Okay. So the next step, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my kneaded eraser. This kneaded eraser, for it to work, it has to be warm, it has to be soft. So that's what I'm doing. I'm warming it up like this, and at the same time, I'm cleaning it. As you can see, it's not as dark as it was. It's getting this gray. You see how it's getting something like used chewing gum, Play-Doh, I don't know. There. So now it's kind of getting soft enough where we can mold the tip of this. And what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to do this for reference right now. I'm just going to make a little edge like that. Okay. And I'm going to go around the edge of this post where the light is being cast around these posts like that. And the reason why we do this early in the game is because we want to preserve some of this white. We don't want to kill this white, because of the sun being so bright, it's going to create this very bright light effect. So now we know we can draw around this and just try to preserve as much as we can the white. Okay. A little highlight here and there. There we go. So now we can go and darken this a little bit more, but for this time, what I'm going to do to darken the posts, I'm going to go and get one of my pencils, charcoal pencils. Okay, I'm going to get my soft charcoal pencil, and I'm going to go and tone this post down. Light, go light, because there's no reason to go too dark here. Always try to start light, never too dark, because it's easier to add than to take away, even though it's charcoal, still. So we're shading here, just straight up and down, nothing too fancy right now. What we're trying to do, we're trying to create the silhouette of the form, the shape of the object, which in this case are these posts. Then we want the backlit effect, show. So there's one, and here we have this the edge of the dot. Here we have the other one. And if you notice, I'm using the side of the pencil. And the side of the pencil is nice because you're not going to make very hard lines. And the other thing is you can get a broader line. So it makes it easier to do this. There we go. And it's okay if you choose texture. Remember, these are usually they're old, they've been there forever, so they're going to have some textures. That's why I like to use this charcoal pencil for this effect, because here we want to have some texture, and the charcoal pencil does a great job to do that. There we go. And of course, here we have the shadows of these two posts. And we're going to put this one pretty much almost straight coming towards us, because the sun could be right, behind it, or a little bit, just a little bit above, but behind these two posts. This one we're going to do a little bit of an angle because the sun is hitting it, on the side, so we'll have more of an angle. So little by little now you're start seeing the effect of the glowing light. Here we said the ocean is going to be up to, let's make it to about here. So we're going to create this line. This is the horizon line. In order to be able to see this glowing effect, we had to add, we had to darken the background. So the water is going to be darker in this instance. And as we do this, you can see how the white starts to show pretty nice. And again, I'm going very easy, very light. Pretty much the pencil is just touching the paper, that's all. I'm not adding hardly any pressure. And the reason why I'm going horizontal, well, the water lies horizontal, plus then we're going to create some highlights from some of the shimmering light lies on top of the water. And we have to continue here because the sea continues this way. This effect is so beautiful. If you can get it just right, you're going to be very happy to learn how to do this. And what you should do, you should be looking around when in the afternoon around sunset, unless if you're up during sunrise, you can do the same thing, of course, and just see if you can find this effect. And then just try to, see if you can sketch it. That's the other challenge you have ahead. Okay, so this is the dark. These are the boards. Also here we have a lot more texture. These are all boards. They've been there forever, so they're going to have all kinds of lines and crevices and so forth. There. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go and I'm just going to blend the water part of the drawing, not the dark area yet. So the same thing, I'm going to get my finger across and always try to think about the edge here, because this edge is where the glow is going to be. So we want to keep that as white as possible. But if you go over, it's no big deal. You can use the eraser and erase it. There we go, like that. And maybe we can just go over the pilings. of the post a little bit, just to get rid of some of the white, the texture from the paper, like that. There we go. Nice. And there we have the sky, the background. And we can even create some. We can create some clouds, whispering clouds. You see, very light and barely touching, putting pressure of the pencil on the paper. Yeah, to create some kind of cloud that is going to really help also showcase our glow. There we go. It's not a whole lot. This is going to be up to you how much detail you want to add to this. For me, the purpose of this is just to show you how to do this, so that's what I'm trying to do. And we can go like that. Okay. Same thing here. I'm just going to grab my finger. Like I said, you can use a tissue if you want to, and do this part. A lot of people don't like to get dirty, don't like to get charcoal in their fingers, but I'm close to a faucet, so I can just, after I'm done here, I can just go on and wash my fingers and I'll be okay. There. So as you can see, you already can start seeing some of the side effect. Okay, so now just when you squint your eyes, you can pretty much know where you need to go over. Here, for instance, this is kind of like getting too wide, so I'm just going to very light and narrowing it. You see how I'm narrowing the light there, or the brighter part of it. Just getting very narrow, like that. Okay. Same thing here, a little bit more. Very light, barely just skimming the paper. Plus, when you do this, you are adding a little bit of an edge here, and it's making it look even brighter. You see that? Okay. So just to add more interest to this, what I'm going to do, first I'm going to put some ropes, okay, because there were some ropes, they use ropes to tie the boats. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create this rope that's going to come, for instance, it was kind of like one, let's say sort of like that, okay. Here we have another one, maybe around here like this, maybe has a couple of them, and this rope was laying all the way here. It was just laying there like this. So that's exactly what I'm doing, and I'm making it a little bit wider because it was like a thicker type of rope, and you'll see what's going to happen while we make it wider. So here we have another one like this. This was just there. Okay. So I'll get back to my pencil again, and I should make this a little bit wider than I did. So I'm going to go with a cleaner tip. You see how easy you can get a cleaner tip just by stretching the eraser, and I'm going to go a little bit wider this time, sort of like this. And we have one there. There we go. Right. And maybe go around this part, the upper part of the posts. There. This side, of course, is going to have a little more light than the other one, so it's going to be reflecting a little bit. It's going to be a little bit brighter. All right. So I'm going to go back to my pencil, and now this is, the rope. Okay, so you see we're already getting the illusion of backlight effect, the backlit. So I'm going to go back to my eraser. And this time I'm going to go and outline this rope again. The upper part will glow maybe a little bit more since it has more exposure to light than the bottom part, but the bottom part also has a little bit of a highlight. And you notice I switch my eraser back and forth because I'm always kind of like looking for a cleaner spot. And here we are going to go like this. There has a little bit of bump because this rope is going to show a little bit of this light. It's going to be getting from here and there. There. And this one's also going to be showing just a little bit of a highlight there. Okay, so I'm going to get back to my pencil. I'm going to draw the rope. And this wraps around, so I try to create that illusion of a little bit of curve there as it goes around the post. And of course, you see when I do that, I have a bare dark spot, and that one I had to replace it with, I had to create the highlight. So I get my eraser again, and I'm just going to have, this time has a little point light because I just want to go very light and carefully around this, just like so. Same thing here, a little bit, and a little bit in here also. There. So, and you can go and put as much detail as you wish in this. You can add more things, like for instance we can add maybe birds at the distance. There we have 1, 2, 3. There we go. And also some of these birds, maybe they're showing some of the reflecting some of the light, so I'm going to get just a few highlights here and there. Maybe I'll just make this one a little bit brighter there, you see, just to show them they also their sun is being reflected on this bird there. Maybe you don't want just white. There we go. And pay attention to what we're doing here. Maybe okay, there. Now, as a bonus tip, when you do this, when you have this, you have created this light, okay, when you have created this light, one trick you can do here to make it look even more, even brighter and more believable, that's going to separate the background from the pilings, for instance. Here you can take your pencil, very light, and just draw the background on top of this highlight. Very light, just draw the background. And what this does, it does an optical illusion that we use that a lot in paintings too. It's almost like it really gives the illusion of the background receding and the foreground come forward. Maybe to add more interest, we can add just a little sailboat way at the distance. We're not going to see a whole lot of it, just the sail that is shining. And maybe it's leaving a trail, a little light trail, you know, like that. There. And maybe we can see just a little bit of the sail, the reflection in the water, just a little bit there. There. Not a whole lot, because remember the water is moving, so you're not going to see a lot. If you do see something, it'll be broken like that. Okay, so one thing I decided to do here is just when I look at the water and the boardwalk, it looks too similar. Usually at this time the water is going to be a little bit darker than normal, and to separate the dark from the rest of it, I'm just going to go and darken a little bit of the water, but skip little areas. That way you can show, it will show some movement of the water. You see, it's not like it's completely still. It's just a little bit darker, that's all.